Fox Sports presents Super Hoops, live from McNichols Arena in Denver. It's the Colorado State High School Basketball Champions.
And a very good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the 4A Boys Championship game. The Sierra Liberty Lancers going for bragging rights of the state and Colorado Springs. And you're here just in time to see what we think will be a super finish to the game. I'm Gary Miller along with Vic Lombardi. Sierra leads 40-39. It's been nip and tuck all the way. It's Liberty with the ball. They are in red. The shot from the corner is good by Matt Fisher, and Liberty's got a one-point lead.
Gary, every game we expected. They played once during the regular season, and Sierra won it by 3, and it's back and forth.
Alan Terry from far away. That wouldn't go, and Liberty's got the rebound. Seth Merrill comes up the middle. Nice pass inside. The ball goes out of bounds. They'll give it to Sierra.
I'll tell you what, Liberty's playing this second half, sports fans, without their best player, Dante Richardson, on the bench with 4 fouls. He's only scored 5 points in the game, and they're still up by a point.
And they've just put him back in the game, Vic, number 24 in red. He's been sitting since about 2 minutes to go in the third when he picked up 2 fouls in about 30 seconds. Now he's back in with 4 fouls. We'll have to be careful, but you can't save him anymore. 4 minutes to go to the state championship for one of these teams, Liberty and Sierra. The ball belongs to the Stallions.
Watch out for the little fella, number 11, Lamar Long. 4 3-pointers in this game. He's feeling it in the second half.
Phil Jackson faked the shot. Here's Long a little bit too far away. They lob to France, back to Lamar. Long to the basket.
Look at the little guy. Look at him slicing and dicing there. Not afraid to go up among the trees, and now there's a...
Yeah, he got hurt on the play as he drove to the basket, and hopefully he's okay. But he's got 15 points in the game, and the attention right now for the terrific Sierra. We'll take another look, Vic, at the drive. It was a great move, but let's watch the aftermath.
This could be a huge loss for second leading scorer on this team behind Phil Jackson. He goes down. It looks like it may be a knee or ankle injury here, Gary.
Well, he wasn't hit. You know, I think he just landed badly and twisted that ankle or his knee, and they'll help him up. And
oh, yeah, it looks like a knee injury. He's got 12 points in the second half. Big loss for Sierra.
Yeah, that's really a shame. All right, timeout. We have 3:41 to go. We're in the fourth quarter. I told you, you're just in time. Hopefully Long will be okay. We'll take a break. It's a one-point game.
On the surface, all tires look pretty much the same. They're round, limited color options. But this is a Big O tire. Come here and look what it's got behind you. Real people, friendly people who know everything about tires, so I don't have to, because I've got better things to do. And I keep coming back because I trust them to do the job right. And talk about service. Wow, look at them go. See why they say at Big O Tires? We jump through hoops for you.
Reputation you can ride on Big O Tires.
Because of our name, Elite Auto Glass, our customers have come to expect a little more. Fine art, installation experts wearing tuxedos, and free dessert. Of course, we don't have a gallery full of fine art, but we do have a warehouse full of... And though we certainly offer elite quality and service, we do it all at a very ordinary price, which is why so many people request Elite. Elite Auto Glass, elite service, ordinary prices.
News 4 salutes Colorado Compensation Insurance, a company for Colorado. Since 1915, CCIA has been developing safety programs for businesses statewide, preventing accidents and keeping workers safe. That's CCIA, a proud company for Colorado.
What in the world happened today? Find out for only 37 cents a week. The Denver Rocky Mountain News. Call 1-800-892-NEWS.
We are back live here at McNichols Arena, and Lamar Long spent some time during that timeout running behind us, behind the press table. Another look, and we can see it simply the way he landed, and obviously hurting that knee on the play, but he was running behind us. However, as his team comes out on the floor, Lamar is still getting some treatment, or at least is being looked after behind the Sierra bench, so he's out of there at least for a while.
He'll get back in there. Right now he's walking on it. Looks like he'll be okay. He was running a track meet behind us.
I know, he's pretty darn fast right behind us. 3:35 to go. Sierra's got a one-point lead. Liberty's got the ball.
Okay, now watch for Sierra to really push the tempo on defense here.
This is Richardson.
Dante Richardson is the guy they want the ball in his hands. He's won so many games from this year. Seth Morrill and Dante Richardson, the two guys to look out for on Liberty. They can shoot lights out.
Right now, not rushing things. A one-point game. It's been that way virtually all the way. Sierra scored the first 7 of the game, and then Liberty came back with 9 in a row. Liberty's led virtually all the way, but it's been close all the way. Martinez goes inside, and there was nothing there. Merrill takes the long one.
There she goes. He's been hot.
Seth Merrill has 13. He hit the 3. Liberty's got a 2-point lead.
That's the 8th lead change in this quarter.
Sierra plays again without their long. So they don't have their leader out there, the guy who's used to handling the ball in these pressure situations. We have less than 2.5 to go.
And Liberty played most of this game in a man-to-man. There's the zone, forcing that shot.
Jackson's shot wouldn't go. Richardson goes to the baseline. The ball, however, went out of bounds. It'll belong to Sierra.
Liberty's going to force Sierra to take the jump shot at this point. They played most of the first half in a man-to-man defense. Lamar Long started hitting. Now they're shrinking back into a zone.
Look at that move along the baseline, but they overshot the basket. Rebound to Ray, running the other way. On the hop to Richardson, going to the hoop.
That's an athlete right there.
Point Liberty lead with 2:09. These two teams played earlier this year. Sierra won it by 3, 67-64. But Liberty said on that night they knew they were good enough to play with the best in the state.
Liberty won 19 games this year. You win 19 games, you're good enough.
Sierra, by the way, has won 20 in a row. That will be a jump ball, the possession arrow, and we'll take a look and see which way. Apparently still Sierra ball.
And make note of that, because late in the game you're going to get a lot of jump balls. They're going to go after the loop.
Foul as he tried to lay it up. And perhaps they're going to call the foul before the shot. That apparently is the indication the shot came as, or the foul came as France caught the inbound pass.
That is the 6th team foul on Liberty. One more, and it's 1-1 foul.
Yeah, Sierra's committed just 2 team fouls. That's Terry with the bomb and the rebound to May, but it goes back to Sierra. Bill Jackson looking to make his move. He's fouled as he put it up. He'll go to the line for a couple. Jackson's been quiet, hasn't he, Vic?
Yes, and look for Phil Jackson. I was about to add there. He's going to use his body. He's just stronger, much bigger than a lot of these Liberty guards. Watch him back people into the baseline.
They've done a good job on him in the game. He's got just 6. And Phil Jackson, this guy who averages 17 points a game.
I'll tell you what, they want him to play D1 basketball, but he may play D1 football. He's doing both.
Jackson's free throw makes this a 3-point game. Liberty led after the first quarter 11-9, led at halftime 23-16, and after 3, 32-30. Jackson trying to cut it to 2. Liberty's got the ball and the 3-point lead, and we've got 1:38 to play in the game. Merrill. Nice shovel pass, baseline to Ray, lays it up. It wouldn't go, but he'll go to the line.
Gotta love this Seth Merrill kid.
Yeah.
Does it on both ends. Gets the rebound, pushes it down court. Beautiful dish there. You know, it seems that every Liberty player is cut in the same mold. They can play both ends of the court. They don't necessarily have the big guy.
Yeah, we took a look at Mark Baranek, the Sierra coach, shouting instructions to his team, and what he was telling them was, fellas, let's get a timeout. 1:32 to go. Liberty leading 46-43.
At this point, with $1:32 left, we saw Sierra in the quarters and in the semifinals. What makes Sierra so dangerous is their full court pressure. If they're down by 3 points with $1:32, I expect them to come out full court pressure. Look at Lamar Long right now, crying on the sidelines. Obviously, he's not going to get back in the game.
No, that's clear. And that is really a shame. He's hurting, and sometimes I think the mental anguish is a lot worse than the physical pain he's going through right now. But the ice bag on the knee, it's not a good sight. Yeah,
tweaked it when he came down on that one shot. He's only a junior. He was a backup last year. Sierra made it again next year.
Liberty Chapman. First time ever in the finals for the Lancers. And we had asked over the last 3 days, hey, by the way, where's Liberty? And we found out they're in Colorado Springs. They're rivals of these guys from Sierra. These kids have all known each other forever. They're all friends off the floor. They play against each other all summer. Many of them play, so they're very familiar with each other, and they played a terrific game here today. And we're told for Lamar Long a tweaked medial collateral.
That's too bad. Hopefully there's no tear in there. Obviously they'll do some tests tomorrow, but he's not going to return to this ball game.
All right, thank you, Marcia. So Marcia Neville finding out for us that Lamar is hurting, and that's unfortunate.
You talk about a player who stepped it up today. Chris Ray at the foul line with 15 points. This is the first one.
Yeah, Chris averages 10 points a game. Had 15 against Pueblo East last night in their semifinal victory, and 10 the night before against Palisade. Those are two painful misses for Liberty. Sierra ball down by 3.
Liberty sticking to that zone defense, forcing a turnover right there.
Jackson lost it, and the Lancers have it. And in the hands of the man they want controlling the ball, Richardson. He's fouled in the backcourt there by Starks.
You don't want to foul Dante Richardson. He's got the stroke. But they're not going to the foul line yet because they've got 3 more to give.
Remember, that's the whole thing. They've got fouls to give now. Team-wise now, that's 4. Remember, we go 1-on-1 on the 7th. Another foul, and again, it'll be a side court inbounding for Liberty with a 1-11.
I like the strategy. You might as well exhaust all the fouls right now. You got a buck 11 left in the game. You're down by 3.
Sure. Go for the ball and foul. If you foul, so be it. They're going to bring Tommy Russell in the game. Dubois goes out. So tough for Sierra because the guy who would normally be handling the ball for them now is unfortunately on the bench with his knee wrapped in ice.
Yep. Look for another quick foul here. Got to get to him.
Jackson reached in and they didn't call anything. Richardson, 1 minute to play. Liberty's got the ball and a 3-point lead. They foul there. Jackson putting the hammer on Andrew May.
All right, the next person they touch goes to the foul line. Now you've got to be a little more decisive in these fouls.
To give. You wouldn't mind sending him to the line because the clock's a ticking. All right, here's May. This is Ray. 50 seconds to go, and they foul Richardson. I don't know really why they didn't foul number 14 May when he got the ball. Andrew averages 4 points a game. They send a guy like Richardson to the line who's used to going to the line in the pressure situation.
You're exactly right. His team's up by 3 right now. 2 free throws with 51 seconds left. Would do so much good for the Lancers at this point.
Richardson only has 7 points in the game, and he averaged 17 and he's used to these situations.
That's ice, baby. Look at that follow-through, the rotation on that ball. Okay, at this point, Sierra's bringing in a 3-point shooter. They got to take a couple threes. He makes this one, they've got to find a 3 on the other end of the court.
Richardson with the pressure on, made them about as easily as you can make them, as cleanly as you can make them. 5-point game. And they go inbound inside to France, and the little hook goes in. It's a 3-point game. 48-45 against the pressure defense. Richardson to May, they knocked it out of bounds. Terry is called on a foul. They got Terry who knocked the ball out of bounds, right to the line. He's been terrific so far. Ray has 15 points. He's the game's high scorer.
Chris Ray transferred to Liberty from Rampart High School. They opened up the district transferring capability in Colorado Springs this year, allows some of the athletes to go from one school to the other. And boys, he helped out this team.
Dante Richardson been friends for a long, long time, and I think Chris was telling him, come to Rampart. Dante was saying, no, you come to Liberty. I guess Dante was more persuasive. 30 seconds to go. You look in the Liberty huddle. Under Jim Chapman, the head coach in his 11th year, Liberty's Lancers were 18 up and 7 down. Last 12 games. Those are the top-ranked Sierra Stallions. A 20-game winning streak. They're 23-2. Mark Moranek in his 15th year. They've been to the semis 3 consecutive years, and they did win state a couple of years ago. Marty Marks had a great run.
If you and you're the Sierra head coach, you tell your team, hit the 3-pointer. If he misses the throw, do what you did last time. France is open underneath. Nice little hook shot. You still have plenty of time to go for the 2.
Yeah, you don't need the 3 right away. But credit to both these teams playing under the pressure quicker here.
And they're having fun. Check out Merrill out there. Slapping hands. Ray's at the free throw line. 2 big throws on the way. Actually, it's a 1-and-1. He's got to hit the first.
Chris Ray's free throw is overshot, and Sierra's hot light. Half a minute. Jackson to the basket. It's a 1-point game.
There's the senior.
Phil Jackson did it as easily as you could possibly do it. Right to the hoop he went. Timeout Sierra.
And he's been quiet for most of this game, Gary. Fourth quarter player right there. 48-47, 26.7 left. State championship on the line. Once again, these teams met earlier in the regular season. Liberty losing that game by 3. But one note about that game, that was played right after the Christmas break. The Lancers maybe a little too much Christmas snacks. I don't know. They weren't at their best there, but it was the toughest game Sierra's region. They lost 2 other games. Yeah. But to 5A schools.
And those were in their first 4 games of the year, so they've been playing so well. And really showing their poise here again, without the guy who's normally handling the ball for them down the stretch. 2 teams putting on a great show in the boys 4A championship, and 2 more big games to go right here on News 4. 48-47. It'll be Liberty ball. And you take a look at the young man feeling the most pain in the Nichols Arena right now.
What if you to tell me that Liberty would be up by a point with 26 seconds left and their best player, Dante Richardson, with 9 points? Yeah, that'd be hard to believe.
The pressure defense of the Sierra Stallions inbound to May. They get it to Merrill, and he is held on the play. The foul there on Dubois. They will send Seth Merrill to the line, a 6'1" senior who averages 14.8 points a game. And Merrill's a kid who's used to having the ball in his hands with the pressure on too.
It's a game of throws at this point. Don't want to foul Dante Richardson or Seth Merrill. The problem is those are the guys that are going to have the ball.
Terry coming in the game. Seth Merrill, 1-1. Shooter's bounce.
Oh, I just love the way he follows through. He and Richardson have the exact same follow through there. They leave the hand up there. You leave it there, Gary, just in case.
I'll remember next time I'm shooting one. But they never foul me though. He missed the second one though. 2-point game. Sierra's got the ball. Contact on the sideline. The ball, it'll be a jump ball, they say.
And remember, I told you about the possession arrow. Where's it going?
To Liberty.
When you're playing high school ball, man, the possession arrow is so crucial.
And again, I think not having the kid who's used to handling the ball with the game on the line, with Long injured, really hurt the Stallions there. Now they've got to play defense with 18.1, down by 2.
Look for another quick hack here. Got to.
The inbound comes to Richardson. You bet Jackson's got him. I think Phil, it's right in front of us. I think Phil said to the referee, "You sure I got him? Do you really think I fouled him on the play?" So maintaining a sense of humor, even with the state championship on the line. Richardson to the line.
Sierra's so used to this. I mean, they've won the championship 2 years ago.
This is 2 shots, by the way, Vic, on the 10th foul. So he'd have gotten the next one, even though he's not made the first. 3-point game.
This is the shot of the game right here, Gary. You make this, it's a 4-pointer. You miss it, you wait for Sierra to crack up a 3.
We've made 4 big. Stallions have to hustle. They're down by 4. Jackson fires up the 3. It's overshot. For the rebound, 5 seconds to go. Another jump ball coming up. Possession arrow this time will belong to Sierra.
That's going to take a miracle at this point, Gary. You got to hit a 3 and then foul immediately. Chapman wants a timeout.
Well, he wants a timeout, but I think he called it correctly, Vic. It's virtually over now.
You know what's so impressive about this Liberty team? They lose their best player. We mentioned that. Dante Richardson out of the line. Step up. Chris Ray stepping up big time today with 15 points. Merrill, 14 points. When Dante came off the bench, he came in with 11 points.
You can see the Sierra Well, we saw the Sierra cheerleaders there for a moment, and there's the Lancer bench. And they were going a little bit bananas just to our left here a few moments ago. And they've calmed down now listening to the coach. It'll be Sierra ball when the inbound, but shooter as he went up for a three.
I guarantee that's what Chapman's telling his troops right now. You better stay away from the ball. Let him shoot the three. You want to contest it, put a hand up.
I think you put a hand up. This is the time for an uncontested three.
Yeah.
Of course, it's hard after all those practice defense to suddenly say, fellas, don't play any defense.
Hey, I've seen teams blow it with a bigger lead in fewer seconds, so you never know.
All right, the inbound to Jackman. He overshot it. Liberty's going to win its first state championship.
I tell you what, Gary, you win your first state title, you better celebrate. There's basketball championship.
There's a great sight in this line as the players will congratulate each other. Remember, they're all buddies. They all live near each other. They all know each other. Lamar Long, number 11 in white, his knee wrapped in ice, tears streaming down, and he and Richardson right now are hugging, and it's a terrific sight. It's really a shame.
Long left this game. Liberty outscored Sierra 10-5. Yeah. You remember, he was feeling it from three-point range. He finished with 4 triples. That's the difference right there.
Really, remember Richardson now, he had to sit out about 5 minutes from the late in the third quarter to early in the fourth with foul trouble. But when this young guy drove to the basket, made that great layup, and was injured, well, Sierra really lost their spark. But congratulations to those kids, the Lancers of Liberty, because, a couple of days ago, nobody knew where they were from.
I looked at the program guide that Chassa hands out, and I found a Liberty, but that was one in East Colorado. It wasn't the same Liberty. Trust me, we know where they're located now. And you're going to see a lot of Phil Jackson. Don't forget his name. He's going to play Division I football somewhere. He hasn't committed any basketball, but he's a much better football player than he is a basketball player. And that's scary. Well, our player of the game, Gary, Chris Ray, we told you about him. He transferred from Rampart High School. In the absence of Dante Richardson for most of that third quarter, he came up big. He scored final quarter. Yeah, he is the News 4 player of the game today.
He was terrific. Richardson was great down the stretch. And let's not forget Seth Merrill also, who played very well, made in the final minute of this game, and also gave his team a lot of leadership down the stretch. We had a good one. 4A championship on the boys' side has been decided. And we do congratulate Chris Ray. He is our player of the game, the Liberty senior. He had 15 points in the game. A little senior leadership went a long way as Liberty fell behind in this one 7-0. It looked like Sierra might blow them away, but they roared back, went on a 14-2 run of their own. They actually scored the next 9 points in the game, and from there led virtually all the way. Led by 2 after 1, led by 7 at halftime. The lead was win by 4.
The ability, Gary, to handle the pressure defense. No one defends full court better than Sierra in Class 4A. Same way in the semifinals, they more pressure against Liberty tonight, and you know what? It didn't quite work the way they wanted. Liberty's got some great ball handlers out there.
Yeah, they were to it, and again, they said they got all their confidence earlier this year. Didn't know how good they were, but they wanted to schedule Sierra, and they wanted to play Sierra at Sierra's gym, and that's exactly what they lost that one, but they went home saying, we just lost by 3 to one of the perennial powers in the state on its home floor. Hey, we're as good as anybody, and from that point on, I think they really believed it, and there they are about to take the state trophy home. Let's go cross court. Marcia Neville standing by with the player of obviously we're having some trouble there with Marsh's mic. Heck, it was working beautifully before.
I'm sure Chris Ray will say, hey, we stepped it up when Dante stepped on the bench. You know, the beautiful thing about a rematch in high school basketball, we told you Sierra beat Liberty earlier in the regular season. But when you come to this gym and you play on this floor with this background, it changes everything. I mean, the ability to shoot in this gym, you ask any high school player, that is the biggest adjustment they have to make. It's not easy. These rims are tough. More lights.
A few more people.
Sure. You got us.
Games on television.
Barking over here.
Making them nervous.
That's right.
Coming up next, News 4's team coverage of high school basketball championships continues with the 1A, 2A, and 3A Mr. and Ms. basketball finalists. Well, the latest news.